And already kind of talked about this cloud computing, a lot of overlap here with some of the email server issues, but for those who aren't aware, it's possible to put what we call an application server, sometimes a terminal server. You put it in a data center, and you log into that from any computer on the internet, and it becomes your desktop. And that's where you work. And you save all your files there. They're in the data center as far as physical location on hard drives. Backups are managed. With most services, it's a monthly fee. You no longer have to worry about hardware, so you eliminate those every 3 to 4 years, those big checks you have to write to get that new server. And software upgrades. Most services will include, the latest version of Office whenever it comes out, and they update the server, and that's just part of the fee and such. And you're able now to go to any computer. XP and Vista Windows machines have a remote connection tool that's included that you're able to connect. Afterwards, I actually connected from here to ours, and I can show that when we're done if anybody's interested on how that works and what that looks like. But now, your machine, it's a little different mindset in how you do your work. So it takes a little bit of change in the process of working, but now your machine on your desk and your laptop are simply become terminals that you use to connect. And because of that, you log in from any different machine. What's there is what was there last time you were logged in, and it's all there. And you're no longer tied to what's in the office. It takes the file server, as you may, or the application server. If you've got some type of scheduling software or some type of other type of billing software, things that you use to run your business, you can move those out of the office, keep those up and running, and thereby keep your operations flowing and ability to move as you look at this type of thing. Again, cloud computing is flying all over, at least in the tech world. I don't know if it's made it outside the tech world too much yet, but there's a lot of talk about it. And that's basically the concept. The cloud, everybody knows where the cloud comes from. If you look at network diagrams, they draw the internet as a cloud. Okay, you have this computer here, there's a line to this cloud, which is the internet, and there's this line over here to the other computer. That's how we draw networks. So the internet's the cloud. And so we talk about cloud computing. It's taking your stuff, putting it out on the internet, and again, it's not just hanging out there in the sky somewhere. It's in a data center. It's on hardware that usually is not just yours. It's shared hardware. Where a lot of new tools that have come out over the last few years to make that much more cost effective and affordable to manage and run and operate. You're no longer responsible for hardware. Sometimes it's your software. Other times the provider gives you the software, like Office is part of it. Something to be aware of is a way to keep those operations running. And again, it's not just about hurricanes too. If you're somebody who travels a lot for business and are accessing things from the hotel or whatever, maybe something to look at anyway, as far as being able to be more efficient and make sure if you need to work from home a lot, those types of things.
What does the offsite do for their backup in case you've got somebody sabotaging their system?
Well, and that's going to be part of the service that you're going to want to negotiate. I'm sure as far as the service that we provide, we have different tiers. We back up the server in the data center. If you want additional backups, it's based on the amount of storage you need, and there's that to
you got some concern that small companies can keep their stuff pretty much in house. No one's going to waste time hacking into them. But when you get into a big operations center like this, if China or North Korea is going after the U.S. government and able to hack in, what are we going to be able to do to protect our
Well, and I would take issue with the fact that small businesses don't have to worry about them coming in.
Well, yeah, no.
Just as much as big. But here's my argument though. In the data center, they got somebody who sits there all day, every day, and that's what they do. Okay. In the small business, what was that? Oh, sorry, I'm busy doing other things. Okay, and it's gone and forgotten. As far as that security and keeping those things up to date, the patches and everything else, and this is a new paradigm for computing, and it's something to be aware of. It's something to evaluate the pros and cons. There is no this is absolutely the only way to do it and the right way to do it. Everything has pros and cons, costs, and that come with those, and you have to decide what helps me, what am I comfortable with, what kinds of contracts can I put in place, Can I download a copy of the data myself? Instead of my data's down in the data center, my offsite copy is in the office, okay? Because I download a backup, that's one way to do that much more cost effectively, because now it's just, storage that you have, maybe on your old server, you don't need anymore. You can store the backups, because you're using that. So there's lots of different ways to structure.
Yeah, my bet on asking that question is prior to coming to Vero Beach, I designed mainly large corporate headquarters, and these questions come out all the time from, the people that we're dealing with in doing this. So, yeah, I mean, it's the same kind of questions when I start doing, when we do office buildings here, like the chamber, the stuff was brought up, and at the time, I didn't know enough about it to, refer it right back to their IT people. It's nice to know a little bit about what's going on with these things. So
and there's a lot of stuff changing. Cloud computing is, Amazon and Google are players in this space as far as providing space. They're doing a little bit different where they're actually even allowing you to just put an application. You don't even have to have a server in place. You can just put a database on Amazon's stuff and create this database and make it available with the internet and stuff. So a lot of that is still in the early stages, and people are still trying to figure out how to make this, easy enough to use for everybody to get in there. But there's a lot of things happening right now in that space as the tools